Well, hello everybody. I know I've uploaded now 3 times today, but I wanted to make a couple corrections for this video. So, number one, as you know, the video had some background music from the game. Uh, I need to sleep early tonight. It had some background music from the game, and it was annoying. And number two, after checking cruise prices, my opinions have kind of changed. I thought I was right, but I'm wrong. So, I wanted to correct everything in this video. And number three, I'm pretty sure the person who's trolling in the comments is either Rush Tonian or Leukemia Del Rey. In that case, I mean, go ahead. All right, just whatever, whatever. But it may not be, and I apologize. Nobody, and don't be mad, because nobody will actually know who you are. I'm just saying that because, like, nobody will know who you are. I didn't dox your name or anything, so don't come at me, alright? So, we're talking about cruise rooms. Again. Now, you may have saw my last video where I said, get an ocean view. It's not an ocean side view. That's another correction. It's not an ocean side view. It's an ocean view stateroom. And we're talking about cruise lines in general, but honestly, I would recommend Norwegian Cruise Lines because they have some really good, like, you can go to dinner whenever you feel like it, as long as it's like in a reasonable range. You can have lunch when you want. There's not set meal times. You don't really have to dress up, etc., etc. So I was explaining in my last vid how we got the Haven the first time, and then we got a large balcony, or a balcony the second time. And we only got the Haven because we put a bid in, and we ended up winning it. I got a headache. I got a neck strain. The chair that I'm in is not that good. That is one thing that I'll say is you should probably buy a good chair if you're gonna be in it a lot. But rather than that, everything's good. So the thing is, right, is the thing is I looked at prices for the cruise. Well, all right. I've explained in detail how last time that I'm a high schooler that's going into college, and I have some experience with minimalism. I used to live in a cheap apartment with my dad used to drive a 2004 Hyundai. My mom lives in a cheap apartment, and she drives a Kia Rio, and it's very cheap. And so I have some experiences with aspects of minimalism as far as price, not necessarily declutter, but price wise. And I've decided for me, it's the best, most preferable option. And as part of exploring that, we're going to be talking about vacations, cruise ships, specifically Norwegian Cruise Line, but this can apply to any cruise line. So I'm going to tell you what you should get for a cruise, um, what you should get for a cruise, how to enjoy it. Now, some criticisms could be that I'm saying to get a very cheap room and it'll take away from the experience, which I'll debunk later. Because honestly, the prices aren't worth it. Oh man, I got a headache. Alright, so let's begin. So, last video, I said that you should get an ocean view instead of a balcony view. And the reason why is because you will not be spending any time on the balcony, especially if you're up north. It costs to have a meal prepared for you at the balcony. The balconies are not super big. You're not going to spend time on the balcony. And if you're going on a northern cruise, you're not going to spend any time on the balcony at all because you're not going to spend any time on the balcony at all because it's too cold. That's what I said. So there's that. Well, I looked at Norwegian cruise line prices and the average cruise line prices in general, and I was wrong. I told you to get an ocean view because it wasn't that much more expensive, and a balcony in comparison was a lot more. Well, apparently the price for a balcony is not usually $3,000. It's usually about $1,800. 1,200, over 1,000. I would say in general, 1,200 to 1,800 is your range if you're going on a 7 day cruise. Even more if you're going on a bit, more cruise. If you're going on a longer cruise. So I explained that. But so there were two problems. Number one was the balcony prices weren't as what I expected. Obviously, if you're getting a balcony room, do not get a club balcony room because all you get is a little more space, and that's literally it. There is no reason to upgrade to the club balcony room, and it can cost hundreds, if not $1,000 or more, to make that simple upgrade. Do not, if you're getting a balcony, at least for the please, for the love of God, do not get a club balcony room. Holy shit! Don't even bid on a fucking room. Oh my god, so worthless. Such a worthless upgrade. But anyways, that was failure number one. Failure number two is I underestimated the prices of an oceanside view or ocean view room quite significantly. So I thought it was maybe a $200 or $300 upgrade from the interior rooms, but it turns out it could be anywhere from 400 to 600. Heck, some of them can even cost almost as much as a balcony, only a couple $100 off from a balcony. It all depends on the cruise. You know, look, if an interior, I've seen cruises where the interior, like tonight, was like $800. The oceanside view was like 900, and the balcony was like 950 or 1,000. And if that's the case, you might as well just go with the balcony. There's really no point. It's a couple $100, okay. Maybe not the balcony, but at least an oceanside view. If prices are very close, then you can afford an upgrade. All right, because at that point, like why? At that point, the non-minimalist perspective goes into view, which is why not? You're not really losing anything. You're losing $100, $200 at most. And that can be for two people, $100 or $200, or just for one person. The prices are basically the same. So those were my two failures on the video, and I also didn't make some clarifications. So, number one, or actually, here's what I would say. What I would say is get an interior room. Now, I know that is hypocritical because last time I said go into an oceanside view, but here's the thing, right? After all, you're not going to be spending really any time in your room at all. Unless you paid for a very expensive room and butlers are all over the place and it's the fucking Great Gatsby party. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to afford it. All right, unless you're the Great Gatsby that throws parties and butlers are all over the place and the concierge takes everything, and you hold up the glass of the most expensive wine on the ship. Yeah, that's not you. So maybe if you're manic, that's you. But I am a little worried about my spending habits when I become manic or hypomanic. But it's all right. But that's not going to be you. Let's face it. Eating on your balcony, like I said, costs money. And a balcony isn't worth it, especially if you're going up north. Do not get a balcony if you're going up north. It'll just be too cold. But the view, I like the view. Well, at that point, I mean, what are you going to do? Sit in bed and watch the ocean go by? At that point, you might as well just go up to the deck and, well, no, because it's too cold out. I mean, you're not just going to sit and watch the sea. That's going to be boring. You're going to want to be out on the balcony to experience the sea, to hear that fresh, to get that fresh air, to get, and if it's just too fucking cold, then don't do it. And even if you do get that experience, you're not going to be out on the balcony all day, or not going to be on balcony so much so that it's worth hundreds or even close to $1,000 or even more than that for an interior room. Same philosophy applies to an oceanside view or ocean view room. Holy fuck. An ocean view room where it can cost I've seen it cost five, six, four, five, $600 more than an interior room, and the balconies just add another extra three, four, $500. So in general, I mean, you're spending four, five, or $600 just to get a nice side of the ocean, which you can accomplish by going out on the deck and seeing it. You know what I'm saying? Or if it's too cold, then if it's too cold and you want to, no. If it's too cold and you want a view of the ocean, there are interior rooms in the cruise ship where you can look out the window. Some of them can be quiet, like the library, for example. If you want to go in a private place, you don't need to have a balcony, and you want to look out the window. You don't need to have a exclusive luxury room where only so many people are left. There are parts of the ship where nobody goes to, and the library is one of them. If you want to sit and read peacefully and look at the oceanside view below you, then honestly, go to the library. So there's no reason to be out on the balcony because you're not going to spend that much time on it. And if you want a view of the ocean, an ocean view room, then there's no reason to because there's other parts of the ship that are interior or exterior depending on the weather where you can visit to experience the views, right? So either way, if you want a balcony because you want to be out there, then just go on top of the ship. And if you want an ocean view, just go into the library or the fucking fitness center. Look out. You know what I'm saying? And look at the nice view. Or the observation deck, although that is busy. So, yeah, those are your options. Now, I did make a mistake. So, I've seen interior room deals that can go for $400, $500, $600. And obviously that's not true, right? There's going to be, like, fucking tax and fucking, like, excursions and, there's going to be there's going to be there's going to be a lot of shit, right? Excursions, and you want unlimited Wi-Fi and a drink package, and yeah, I understand that. So what you want, right, is you want to get moderately cheap excursions, like I said last video, because you don't want the most ridiculous, expensive shore excursions to make memories. You don't want to go down the fucking zip line like I referenced in my last video, and that's it. That's the whole shore excursions going down a fucking zip line for $50. You don't want that, but you don't want something where it costs a lot of money and you could have made memories or had a good time on your trip without spending all of that money. Cheap vacations can make memories too, just as valuable as expensive ones. So yeah. So for shore excursions, right? So you want to get an interior room because it can be $6 or $7 or $5, $6, $700 cheaper than an oceanside view room. It can be well over $1,000 cheaper than a balcony. And of course, if the prices are close, which I have seen in several cases, or the prices are very low for an oceanside or balcony, then fine. Whatever. But in most cases, it's not going to be the case. So, get an interior room. Now, other additional details. Now, Wi-Fi and the drink package. So, Wi-Fi, all you got to be careful with cruises. They'll say free Wi-Fi, free drinks, free this, free that, but you actually it's limited. It's free, but it's limited in most cases. Like you'll get 5 drinks that you can drink before they start charging you, or you get 150 minutes of Wi-Fi, and you have to use it all at once, and things like that. So never take a cruise for granted unless it says unlimited. If it says unlimited, free unlimited, then maybe. Alright, so free unlimited Wi-Fi, because you don't want to sit there and be fucking bored. I mean, you want to keep in touch with the internet, right? I mean, you're not going to sit there every single minute and want to fucking hang out, and, sometimes you're just going to want to scroll on the internet in the lounge. So I recommend free unlimited Wi-Fi, which is $125 per person if you're on Norwegian. And I recommend the unlimited drink package, which is like $100, but you get as many drinks as you want, and it is well worth your money. Well worth it. Well worth it. Now, another reason why I suggest the interior rooms are good is you think, oh, well, the food must suck if you're in an interior room. At least on Norwegian, the food is pretty good. You get to sit in a white cloth restaurant where all of the food is free, and you can have several courses, an appetizer, a dinner, and a dessert, and maybe even more. Even if you're in an interior room, every single night in a white cloth restaurant. And the menu changes. I'm not making that up. That is for free. That is, I believe, that is for free. You can get on, that is just the standard restaurant that everybody uses, and there is no charges. So if you get an interior room, which is like $400, plus the Wi-Fi, plus not 400, let's just say 600. That's a good average interior room price. Plus you get Wi-Fi for one, plus you get drinks for one. You're up to about $800 or $900. Right? With the shore excursions, you'll probably be in the mid thousands, like in the teens, like 1,300, 1,400, 1,500, something like that. But the balcony, you're looking at $3,000 or $2,500, and that's for the lowest class at balcony. And for an oceanside, you're looking for like $2,000. It's not much cheaper than a balcony, honestly. Oceansides are not that much cheaper than ocean views rooms are not that cheaper than a balcony. So you want to stay away from casinos. You want to avoid getting drunk so you don't do and that's what the cruise industry wants. They love the drinking culture because you impulsively buy things and you impulsively gamble. So avoid getting drunk. I know that sucks. But honestly, do you want a hangover on your cruise anyways? Avoid getting drunk. Okay? Avoid applying for credit for the next cruises, because if you lock money in, like if you spend money and they'll give you extra money, they will screw you over. They have your money now, and they will control you with your money. And you'll have to go on 4 or 5 cruises to get your money's worth. So do not apply for cruise credits. Do not gamble. Do not take photo selfies. You could do it on your fucking phone. And try to not buy anything that costs a dime. Right? So try not to get drinks that are outside of your package, because they cost like $5 or so, and then 5, 10, 15, 20. By the end of your cruise, you're spending an extra $50 or $100 for drinks that weren't in your package or whatever. So avoid that. And avoid getting excessive things like watches or other expensive items, which you can on your cruise. They had $100 watches. So avoid going to stores and getting expensive merchandise. Right? The idea is, oh well, I got this on my cruise and it was so memorable. No, you got a fucking watch that costs $800 when you have a phone in your pocket which will tell you the time. Now I understand, right? For business, a watch is good, but you don't need, a $900 watch or whatever the fuck, And if you're not, only if you're in business should you have a watch. All right, having a watch in general is fucking useless, in my opinion. It's completely worthless unless you're on a date trying to impress somebody at business. Do not wear a fucking watch. Do not buy a watch because it's useless. And there's only like a 50% chance that you'll actually be committed to wearing it. I bought a watch and I never used it. A lot of the things, that's another thing for minimalism. I bought a lot of things, or I have a lot of things that I don't use, that I thought I needed, but I never used them. So ask yourself with the minimalist mind, are you actually going to fucking use it? So there's that. And have a nice cruise.